Thank you, Professor, for your question, for your introduction. Hello to everybody. I'm honored to be a part of such a distinguished panel, and I'd like to join the chorus of individuals that have congratulated and you know, brought a lot of attention and gratitude for the excellent hospitality that we've received over the last 2 days. As some of us learned, some of you have known, but for some of us it was perhaps a bit of a history lesson, but Guelmim has been the center of crossroads of cultures, of commodities for some time now. The languages may have changed, the times may have changed, the languages perhaps have changed a bit, but Guelmim and the Wednoun region feels again like it's on the cusp of something special, a real revolution in the transition to green energy. And so, Professor, if you'll so indulge me to allow me to present my remarks in English, which seems so fitting for its global stature. So just for those of you that are not familiar with our company, so EDF Renewables is a wholly owned subsidiary of EDF Group. EDF Group, 165,000 employees, is one of the largest producers of energy in the world. We have 130 gigawatts of installed capacity. 91% last year did not emit any CO2. As for our renewables subsidiary, we're present in 22 countries. We have 10 gigawatt net installed capacity, about 71% that is in the onshore wind, about 25 in solar, and the rest in storage and in offshore wind. We're a fully integrated player that covered the entire value chain from early stage development, which we are very proud to be one of the few early players in this region to do so, but also EPC, asset management, and operations and maintenance. In the Middle East, we are probably the dominant player, particularly in Saudi Arabia and UAE, where we have the world's largest PV plant, as well as the largest wind farm in the Middle East. And most importantly, here in Morocco, this year we celebrate 10 years in the Moroccan market. We are very proud to be here, even though our parent company has been here working with ONE for many decades in the water and hydraulic dam business. But this year we completed phase 1 of the Taza wind farm, and about 2 weeks later, as an example of an innovative public and private partnership with Mazen, we reached financial closing on the first first repowering on the African continent, 100 megawatts in Koudia Al Baida, which essentially doubled the capacity and went from 100 machines to 20 far more powerful machines. And I think the most important, and perhaps the most important is our work in Guelmim, which I'll get to in a second. But just to briefly touch on what the professor said, the renewables market today continues to have very steady growth. We have seen this year another record, 295 gigawatts installed capacity added. That's a 6% growth vis-a-vis last year. This year, 2022, we expect to achieve the milestone of 300 gigawatts installed capacity, which is really quite an achievement, and it's even more so an achievement because, as many of you have evoked, the supply chain and the post-COVID environment is a bit of a mess. This year has been tumultuous. We've seen PV commodities prices go fourfold higher. Steel prices 50% higher, copper 70% higher, freight something like 6%. All of this results in slightly higher renewables prices. We've seen in certain markets 15 to 25% even of more expensive renewables projects. Now, when you consider that 91% of countries have now committed to low carbon targets, and the Ukrainian crisis has exacerbated and sort of accentuated the vulnerabilities of certain countries to fossil fuel imports, particularly those of a Russian nature, you will see the problem. It's not necessarily a problem, it's very good for the world, but in terms of renewables prices, you may see a continued sort of trend that has defied the last couple years, where you saw year-on-year cheaper renewables. Why do I say this? Despite this being in absolute terms, meaning perhaps some renewable projects that are slightly more expensive, when you compare it to the alternatives, as Mr. El-Hafidi pointedly said earlier, of wholesale prices, $400, $500 per megawatt hour, renewables have never been better value, and it is really an incredible time to invest in them. And when you sort of consider that the post-Ukrainian market may see additional demands increase, even though the development cycle will probably require a year or two of that to absorb, it just really puts the accelerator even stronger on countries that are embracing this technology, much like the Kingdom of Morocco is. So I mean, it's really an extreme pleasure, and we're very proud to be in this market. We love to hear what many of the speakers today and many of the dignitaries are saying in terms of commitment and environment and investment climate, and we're extremely proud to be here, and I'm glad to see also we're not the other one, not the only other ones. And of course, the commitment is very clear. We're all here in Gelmim on a Saturday, and I think that speaks for itself how important this market is. So, thank you.